like us. They were not taking multiple vacations a year. They didn't have Uber Eats. They were not eating out every night. They were not buying new clothes. They weren't going to the club. They did not have social media to constantly be comparing themselves to others and trying to one up or lifestyle inflation. Everybody blames the economy, and our economy is not great. It's different. We all know we have to spend more to survive now, but also look at our spending habits and the lifestyle inflation. We spend so much money as young people on stuff that does not matter. And 20, 30, 40 years ago, people did not care about it. There was not the same social status or social quo. So if you're going to complain about the economy, if you're going to complain about how hard it is to quote unquote survive, ask yourself, what lifestyle are you comparing it to? Because taking multiple trips a year, getting new clothes all the time, doing all these lavish things, they're not a necessity, and you don't need it to live a happy lifestyle.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
All
right. Hey, what's going on, family? This time for No Picks Podcast.
What's up, fam? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Hey, guys. Angie here.
Hey, guys. It's Chelsea.
All right. So, what's your thoughts on my man talking about saying basically stop blaming the economy? Is what the issue is our inflated lifestyle. Does he have a point? So I'm gonna go with, I think, Joe. I feel like you would have a strong opinion on this. So what's your thoughts on this? My man saying that it's our lifestyles, not the economy. Stop blaming the economy. It's because you keep wanting to take vacations and do all this other stuff.
Man, this is like, I don't know, bro. Food is expensive. Gas is expensive. Utilities are expensive. Electricity bills have gone up by like 6% since the beginning of the year.
Right.
Water in Philly, I don't know where. Yeah, I mean, water is expensive. The water bill is expensive. Like, everything is expensive. Like, I feel like it used to be, we talked about this before, that you could work at a warehouse, make like 45, 50,000 a year, and be able to have one parent at home to take care of the house and to raise the kids, or, you know what I mean? Like, you were able to do that back then. And now you literally need two incomes if you like to run a household and to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, how do you blame that on people just living lavish lifestyles? Like, if you just want to function and have a child, like, now you need two incomes. Like, two incomes are likely to be, you know, I don't know. I feel like this guy is just, maybe I don't know. I just feel like he's being very judgmental on people who are like the average American who are trying to get by. But we are in a rough place. Wages have been stagnant. Wages have not gone up. The minimum wage in many places is still $7.25. The biggest class that has grown so far is billionaires. They've seen a lot of growth as far as the amount of billionaires that we have now. That has been the biggest economic class that showing growth. So, like, I don't know. I'm a little bitter by that. I do feel like the economy it's easy. I don't know. It's a lot to unpack, but I feel like we can't blame it all on the economy, but the economy still sucks. And I know that life is much different now from when I was in the 90s to where we are now. It's ridiculously expensive now. We don't have quarter sodas no more. We ain't got penny candies no more. You can't go to $5. $5 in my gas tank used to last me for like 3 to 4 days. Now $5 won't even get me a gallon, or it will, but maybe like a gallon and a half. So I just feel like, I don't know, bro. Times are different, and wages haven't adjusted to the cost of living. So,
okay. All right. So what you think, Chelsea? Do you think this guy has a point, or he is tripping?
No, I think he has a point.
Okay.
I think part of it is cost of living is definitely different. So I agree with him, but I don't think that's fully it. But
right.
I do agree with like a lot of the social media like influences, and you're trying to like one up and keep up with whoever. So you're doing trips, you're doing this, you're getting a new car,
right.
You're trying to buy a house, whatever. So I think that does affect it, but I don't think it's solely that.
Right. Okay. What you think, Angie? You think this dude has a point, or he tripping?
I hear him for the fraction of people who do, like Chelsea said, try to keep up with the Joneses. I know that there's going to be an argument about every woman in the world wanting to go to Dubai and these.
You just got to make your own argument. You can't preempt my arguments.
I believe that, Joe, you have a very good point. I think I'm going to speak for those of us who don't travel multiple times a year, who don't indulge in all of those things, and still have to not necessarily struggle, but like you said, it's
Fuck
not.
it.
It's it's not easy, and it is an economic problem. Like you said, the cost of living does not match. Like people are working to be poor, and that's not
Right.
yeah.
The working poor. You're
Working
absolutely right. The
working
working poor.
working poor, and
Right.
that's not fair. That's not a thing, and they haven't traveled in decades. Like has nothing to do with
Okay.
traveling. There's a world where people don't travel every month. They don't get their passports stamped, and they don't do all of those things, and they're still struggling. There's
Okay.
a large enough population of those people to where they count in this argument.
Okay.
He's trying to tell you people are going to Dubai, and
Okay.
Here we go.
So
And go.
so listen, my opinion, dude has 100% point. I agree with what he's saying. Now is a part of it, to Joe's point and Chelsea's point and Angie's point. Is inflation a thing? Yeah, of course. Inflation is a thing. It'll continue to be a thing, right? Like a Milky Way for us will be it was what, 50 cent, right? We used to go to the store and buy it for 50 cent. Now it's, I don't know what it is. I haven't bought a Milky Way in a very long time, but I would imagine it ain't 50 cent no more, right? Like whatever it is more than
I
that.
think it's like
At least $1.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit,
At least
okay.
$1.
That's
I feel
crazy.
like it's
Okay.
almost two.
All right,
Right,
but
right.
that's just what it is, right? Like that happens under every administration, and it just is what it is, right? Like $100,000 now is different than $100,000 back in the 1950s. It is what it is. Like there's nothing that, I don't know, like regular people can do can never change that. Like inflation will always be a thing. Like things will always be more expensive later down the line. Now I'm not saying, I'm not championing it. I'm just pointing it out as a fact of life, right? But my thing is, I would argue that our tastes have also evolved along with inflation. Like, so it's like there's a lot of people who will go on vacation with their credit card and go into debt just because. I've been in situations like that. Like, even though like we had significant amounts of money, we would go on vacation because like, hey, vacation was a big deal. I know several people that will just go get a new car because, hey, you know what? My car is paid off. I want a new car. I know several people that are just like, hey, you know, I just want to do something else. I want to do something. I want to like I don't think any one of y'all can argue that there are people who are that there's a large percentage of the population that's like, yo, we want to live like we're rich even though we make $40,000 a year. There's a large percentage of the population that's like that. That like, therefore there are people that are like, yo, I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Barbados. I want to go to Dominican Republic. I want to go to Miami for spring break, even though you fucking 35 years old and you make $45,000 a year. You just can't afford it. The issue is that a lot of what I would argue that a lot of the issue is that like our tastes have evolved in a way because of social media. Our tastes have evolved in a way to where we feel like we need all that stuff. So then we go into debt, and then we cry and bitch and complain that we can't afford, that we're underwater and we can't afford X, Y, and Z. Now, I would argue that Joe's perspective is that because Joe's an honest, salt to the earth, grinding man that's like, hey, you know what? I'm not out here vacationing and going crazy. I think your perspective is one, right? But I don't think your perspective. I think your perspective is not as common as you believe it to be. Because I know a lot of people who don't make, I don't know how much you make a year, but I don't know a lot of people who don't make nearly as much as what you make that will make sure that I will go on families and friends Instagram and see them in Puerto Rico, even though they text me last month talking about I can't pay the rent. So like our tastes have evolved. Like we don't like people who make $30,000 a year don't want to just go to Atlantic City and chill. They want to go to Barbados and Miami and Punta Cana.
But that's just irresponsible.
But that's a lot of us though. Like how many people, like Joe? I'm not saying nothing that's not like y'all. Everybody around here, everybody on this panel knows people who are like, yo, you know what? I don't care what's going on. I gotta make sure I gotta go on vacation every year, even if they make less than what we make. They don't care. So I would argue that it's not a bunch of people that's like, oh well, you know, I'm not doing nothing all year. I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna just make sure we go to you know, ShopRite and save whatever shop and just order this food and chill. No, like and just, you know, make ends meet and pay our electric bill and pay our cable bill, pay this and that. No, these people are also trying to travel even though they don't make the funds to do it. So they fall into debt, and then they're like, "Oh my God, what do we do?"
That's
So
true.
I want to draw a parallel, right? I agree that. So with the guy from the original clip, the part that I do agree with is that, and we all seem to agree, is that there are people who live above their means. You know what I'm saying? We can all agree on that. There are people who are living above their means. If you're making a certain amount of money, you should be living within your means. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do more, then you should be making more money. But if you're not making more money and you're doing things you can't afford, then you're living above your means. You know what I'm saying? So I want to draw a parallel though. When we talk about, so Ty, when we've talked about relationships, right? Or one of our biggest complaints is that when women, generally speaking, talk about their relationship issues, they talk about the Pookies and the Ray Rays. They talk about all their experiences with the men who are scum, the players. You know what I mean? They center those conversations about relationships and men about the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And we've always said, what about the guys who are solid? What about the guys who are stand-up guys, who you call nerds, who you call squares, white collar, blue collar, men who work that 9 to 5, men who put in time, construction workers, sanitation workers? Like, what about, so about solid men who want to be husbands, who want to be, who want wives, who want families, right? I feel like those conversations should be more centered around those types of men, right? But we don't. We center around the scumbags. Now, with this conversation, I don't want to center the conversation about the economy and how we're struggling around people who are fiscally irresponsible. And like you said, I want to talk about people who are more maybe like me. I've been making more than 6 figures for the past 4 years, and I can tell you, bro, it don't feel like it. When I look at my check and see how much taxes come out of my check, we pay a lot of taxes, bro. Like when you get to a certain tax bracket, you really see it. I feel like people who don't make like over 50 don't realize how much people who are making over 50 get taxed. We get taxed a lot, bro. Yeah, there are loopholes. Yeah, there are deductions. But, bro, I don't know. Speaking for myself, I hate paying as much taxes as I do. I pay a lot of taxes.
I would argue that your perspective on it is not what the normal perspective is. I don't think
but that's the only perspective I have. But that's the only perspective
I would agree. I understand that. But I don't think that's how most people are moving, because statistically, you and I, we've looked at the numbers several times, and most people don't make 6 figures, right? But a lot of these motherfuckers are traveling and shit. A lot of these motherfuckers are replacing their cars with new cars. A lot of these people are, like just doing crazy stuff in order to have these experiences, to be like, oh, okay, well, I need this experience, because if not, because it's a mental health thing for me. But am I tripping?
No,
you're still working and still poor. I think
so. That's a different argument. Joe's argument is an argument. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm all on board with that shit. But what I don't agree, but I think his is less common the conversation it is. I think his situation is less him and my situation, mind you. Him and my situation is less common to what's actually really going on out here. What's really going on out here is that we have we have record credit card debt because motherfuckers want to go on vacation and they can't afford it. Let me give you an example.
I don't think that's the only reason, bro. I don't think people are taking to the credit just because of that. I think people are doing it because they need to.
Let me pull up a couple joints. Right? So this is one joint about vacations.
If you have the examples.
No, but I got actual articles from reputable news sources.
Is it fair to say there's people who are in debt trying to stay above water, not because they want to go to Dubai?
You and I had this conversation before. Yes, there are situations where people are doing certain things. But my opinion of it on it is, Joe and I and anyone who we don't move in the same way. Joe and I, we don't need to take vacations every year to feel like we're winning. Like we don't need to that's not a feeling that we have. But that's a minority of the situation. A lot of motherfuckers feel like they need to go on vacation.
You're saying majority of the people are.
Yes. Which is why we have record credit card debt. Okay, listen.
I don't know, bro. I don't know about that part.
Okay, let me play a couple Jones, and then we'll revisit this. All right.
What we knew is that you had a couple joints. We knew that.
I said that. No, I don't got videos.
Are you in need of hardship funding? You don't have the money to maybe go on a vacation or book a flight with your girlfriends. You want to go on a girls trip. I get it. You want to vibe out with your girlfriends. Guys, drop your state in the chat. Not every state is eligible. And I want to let you know how you can get pre-approved for up to $15K. Drop your state. I'm going to let you know how you can, okay? Are you in?
Okay, that's not.
This is dumb. Who's gonna go $15,000 in debt just to take a vacation,
nigga? You think that's?
And why do you need $15K just to take a vacation?
Joe, I've been in
There's
a
a lot of
situation
girls
where
that
this
would
shit
do that.
happened.
Really?
This shit happens, Joe.
I'm not saying it don't happen, but
this is not rare, bro. This is not a rare situation. These chicks will fucking travel under any means by any means necessary, Joe. This shit is real shit. They
well,
will take a
everybody on
fucking
this
loan out.
panel is the same. Then everybody on this panel is the same. But let's say
I don't do that.
because I don't know who. I'm saying as far as spend it not being financially irresponsible.
All right, so let me play this other clip on car notes and what's going on with the American economy.
It's a sports car you're excited to rev up for a nice weekend drive, or a safe minivan filled with entertainment features for your children. Cars are everywhere. There are more than 275 million vehicles on the road in the United States.
People, they equate cars with freedom. There is this way in which it gives us an ability to explore and see and expand our lives.
But in recent years, owning a car has gotten expensive. Really expensive. More than 100 million Americans have an auto loan, and auto loan debt in the U.S. is currently at $1.5 trillion. A record.
Outside of purchasing your first home, a new car or auto is the second largest purchase for most people. Given the transaction prices and vehicle prices today, financing is required to buy these vehicles.
In 2023, the average monthly auto loan payment for a new vehicle is $725, up from $650 in 2022. The average monthly payment for a used vehicle is $516 in 2023, up 2% from the prior year. Meanwhile, consumers don't typically cast their car buying experience in a positive light.
It was a very quick process, and I did feel like they just wanted me to sign at the bottom line as quickly as possible.
For years, complaints and lawsuits have been popping up left and right against lenders for alleged discriminatory and illegal practices.
It undermines my trust.
Our number one priority is to our consumers. And so we have put a variety of processes in place to ensure that is the case.
So what's happening in the auto loan industry, and what can consumers do to make sure they're protected?
All right. So I have
Wait, so then what's the issue? Is it that people are getting loans for cars that they can't afford? Like,
yeah. So I didn't want it because it's like a 17-minute joint. I couldn't show all of it, but yeah. So basically, people are like the debt is crazy, repos are crazy, right there, record highs. People are buying these cars that they literally can't afford. They can't afford them, but they're buying them.
I believe you, bro. I think that this is a very conservative way to frame this discussion. I think that these are the people who think that people are out there with their EBT cars buying steak and lobster, and they think that people are just taking trips to Dubai on credit cards just to do it. Like, I don't think most people are doing that, bro. I just don't. Like Angie has brought up this point a few times and we haven't really touched on it, but like, what about the fact that somebody could put 40 hours a week at a job and still not be able to pay all their bills? Is that okay? Like, does that sound like a good economy to you when someone can put 40 hours of work and still can't even cover all their expenses and probably have to get a part-time or a gig job?
It depends on what their job is. If their job, when I was working at McDonald's, when I was working 40 hours a week at McDonald's, no, I don't believe that I should be in a fucking
bro, you know how much it costs to get a number one right now at McDonald's? A number one at McDonald's is like $12, $13 right now, bro. Like, it's expensive as hell to just eat at McDonald's.
Listen to what you just said, Tyrese. You just said working at McDonald's, I shouldn't be able to pay for a 3-story house. You're living outside of your means.
Well, yeah, that's outside of your means. Yeah, just renting a row home in Philly just to rent it, just to be able to cover your basic utilities, get food.
I don't believe that I should.
And that's why I can't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't believe I should have been able to like live on my own and support a family. Working at fries at McDonald's.
You should look at the research and the articles on the working poor. There is definitely, in this country, we have a big problem where there are people who are working 40 hours a week, working multiple jobs to cover all of their expenses. And I think that if you're saying like that, how can you say your economy is doing well when you have people, like I said, who are putting in 35, 40 hours a week working full time and still cannot cover their basic needs?
It depends on what you do. It depends
on even if you do, it doesn't matter, bro. We said it's that
fields that don't pay what they should. Like,
and some like. Yeah, like
okay,
right. But social workers, teachers,
social
workers.
The capitalism system is all about exploitation. Like it's all about exploitation. People at the top exploit the people at the bottom.
And then but then they make all the money, and then they bitch and judge the people who don't make anything. And I'm like, that's not cool.
That's just like that's what unless we change the system, that's what capitalism is, and that's what capitalism will always be. Unless somebody makes.
Well, I'm not okay with it though. But I'm not okay with it.
Okay, whether or not you're okay,
I'm not okay with it.
I'm not here to cast a moral judgment. I'm just here.
You are judging. You're judging people who are poor who can't pay their bills because you think that they're taking out loans.
That's just what it is.
You've been judging these people this whole podcast, bro. What are you talking about? Talk about people. You know, people who fund.
If they were that poor, then they were planning a vacation.
Yeah, that's where I judge. If you make that kind of money and you're always in Puerto Rico, you can't afford it.
I agree that you shouldn't live above your means. I agree that
that's where I judge. I didn't judge anywhere else.
But I also feel like
judge anywhere else is not true.
But I also feel like life is more than just working to pay your bills. Like if you're working and all you can do is pay your bills, is that really living?
That's not living.
Is that living? Like, do you honestly think that's a good life?
If you can't afford to vacation, then you can't vacation.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But working, but you're working.
I'm not Shakespeare. I'm not here to talk about what life is and what life isn't.
No, I'm not.
Saying,
no.
Hey, if you can't afford to go to Dubai, then you can't go to Dubai.
Can I just say
what it is?
Family. I'm speaking to the family now. So there are people who are conservative like Ty who have this perspective. But please understand, we understand that there are people out there who understand that they're hardworking. As even right now, even though I'm financially doing better than the majority of America, I'm telling you, it is difficult. It is difficult. If you bought your house in 2020, your interest rate is probably at 2-3% right now. Versus anybody who bought their house after like 2022 or 2023, who's paying 6, 7, 8% interest rate for a mortgage. Like my mortgage is crazy, and my interest rate is not even that high, and my credit score is over 720. Like it is difficult for people who are financially responsible to live in this economy right now. I'm not going to judge people who are working 40 hours a week, still can't vacation because they're paying bills. They're just living life just to pay their bills. That's not living. And to judge them instead of judging the system, instead of saying this is just what it is, it's capitalism. Fuck that. This system doesn't work for us. I'm always going to side with the everyday average American. Not these billionaires, not these millionaires, not these corporations. I'm going to side with my fellow man. Because we make this country. Okay, we got to make America better.
Cool.
We got to make America for us. America first.
Listen, I played another clip a minute ago where the chick said, "Hey, you can borrow $15,000 to go on vacation." Joe's advice.
But she don't speak for everybody.
$15,000 to go on vacation.
She doesn't speak for everybody.
Y'all should go do it. Yo, listen. Make sure you live. Listen, you don't listen. Fuck the bills. Live.
No,
live it up.
said fuck the bills. That
live it up. No. Live it up. Live it up.
Right, but I want to have this conversation about people who are actually doing what they need to do and are saying, listen, I'm doing everything I need to do, but I still not afford my base. I can barely afford my necessities, and I can't do anything for Christmas. I can't take vacations. That's not living, bro. That's just like slave wage. That's like wage slavery. That's people who are literally just slaves for the capitalist system who are just paying bills. Like, bro. When AI takes over and all these jobs get automated away because the people that you like to defend, these rich billionaire assholes, giving all these jobs to machines, this problem's going to get even worse.
Let me ask a question.
This problem's going to get even worse.
Okay. Do you think a person? Let me ask Chelsea this question. Chelsea, do you think a person making $40,000 a year, even though they work 40 hours a week at a library or whatever, right? So they make $40,000 a year, they work 40 hours a week at the library, right? Do you think that they should be able to live and go to Dubai? Do you think they should be able to afford that vacation for 2 weeks? Do you think they should be able to do that? No. Okay. All right. Cool. So
some teachers get paid that. You know, there are teachers who are getting paid about that much.
Okay, but let me ask. So do you think a person making $40,000 a year, even though they work 40 hours a week, do you think that they should be able to go vacation to Dubai and ride camels and shit for 2 weeks and then
I think you should pay them more.
Okay, but that's not my. Okay, so you.
I hear you, but I think you should pay them.
How about you, Angie? What about you? Do you think that those people should be able to go to Dubai and ride camels for 2 weeks?
I don't think that, but to answer the original video's question, I think it's the economy.
It's the economy. It's the economy, bro. It's the economy.
It's the economy. I think it is the economy.
You know, Trump just tried to fire the job.
But they can't even go to Atlantic City.
Yo, the latest jobs report just came out. And Trump didn't like it because it was lower than they anticipated. And he tried to fire the person who released the data for the jobs report because he didn't like the numbers. The economy is not as good as we think it is, bro. Like, I need you to step out of Fox News and look at other sources because they're going to tell you what you already believe in. I need you to see some other sources and realize the economy is not as good as we think it is. It's just not. It's really not, bro. Like I would hate to paint all Americans as people taking out loans just to take vacations. That chick with the platinum blonde hair, she don't speak for everybody, bro. She don't speak for anybody.
First of all, nobody speaks for everybody.
You're making it seem like the average American is out there taking out loans to go vacation. Like I don't think that's the case.
People probably came across that and they're like, "Oh, 15 grand to go on vacay. Let me drop my comment." Like she said,
and that's just stupid. That shit is fiscally.
So
I don't think it's a lot though. That's some people.
All right, so some people, so a little bit of people, a few people did it. Okay,
that's some people.
So just a few people.
I don't think because some people do that, we can't have a serious conversation about the economy and about our political system and about our plutocracy, where corporations dictate policy, get tax breaks while slashing funding, slashing our welfare system, slashing our social safety nets, saying fuck sick people, fuck old people. Like we're here complaining about people trying to live.
How about this?
Can I just finish my point? We're complaining about people trying to work. Okay. And pay their bills and cover necessities and hopefully take a vacation instead of talking about the bullshit system we have in place that is exploiting everyday Americans. That's crazy. That's a conservative Republican talking point, a framing, and I don't agree with that framing. I don't.
Okay. So, all right, last question for all of y'all. All right. So, how do I put this? All right. So, all right. So what? Okay. So what would you, if you had to guess, right? Let me preface this because I know Joe hates this hypothetical question. But if you had to preface this, what percentage of Americans that are struggling financially are hardworking, salt to the earth, I'm gonna pay my bills and you know make ends meet, versus I'm just going to spend money, and this is not a race thing either. If I wanted to play the other clip too, but I don't think we have enough time. But when what's that joint? Not Fire Festival. Coachella, what happened in California a couple months ago. They did an article on it, and it was like, yo, like most of those people that was like mostly white people, they put all that shit on credit because like they couldn't afford, like they were like, yo, like a lot of these people couldn't afford to go, but they just like was like, hey, fuck it, let's put all the shit on a credit card, right? So it's not a race thing. I'm not equating it to a race thing. It's not a race thing. So my question is, what percentage, if out of 100% of Americans, what percentage of Americans are just addicted to this inflated lifestyle that they see on Instagram and all this shit, versus Americans that's just like, listen, I just can't do the regular shit that I need to do in order to survive. Like if you had to pick out of 100% of people, if you had to guess, obviously there's no way to ever quantify these numbers, right? I'm just asking for your personal opinion, right? There are no numbers. Let me preface this again. There are no numbers for this, right? I can't pull anything up on Google, right? So let me go with Inch first. So which if you had to guess, what percentage are, hey, I want to just travel, do all this extra shit, buy a new car, do X, Y, and Z, versus people that are like, yo, you know what? I just can't buy bread and eggs.
So many things are going through my mind because I feel like along with that, most of the people who are ignorant enough to have this far left idea probably can't even get the credit that you're talking about. Like they probably wouldn't even get approved to even take out all this credit that you're speaking
You would be
of.
so fucking surprised.
However, I mean, I knew you would say that, but I would say
my sister stays in fucking Puerto Rico. My sister stays in the Dominican Republic. She does not have a regular 9-to-5 job. So it's not.
That's crazy.
You don't. This is a regular thing. You don't. It's not rare. It's not rare to go to.
Okay.
I don't know people who do this.
Yeah,
okay,
I know people do it. There's no one in my circle who I can be like, damn.
Yeah, because it's your circle, nigga. Like you hang with different people.
I understand that, bro. It's just this notion is crazy to me that people are taking out racks just to go on just in debt to take a vacation, bro. Like it's crazy. This is crazy.
All right, so if you had what's the number? What's the number of Americans that's just like, listen, we can't do it, percentage, versus people that's like, yo, we got a vacation.
I don't know.
All right, so that's an answer. That's an answer. I'll take that. What about you, Chelsea? What's your perspective on it?
Percentage of people that can't afford it but still vacation anyway.
Yeah. Or do all this extra stuff, buy a new car that they can't afford, go into debt that they can't afford, like whatever it is. Like, what do you think? What percentage of Americans do you think that is versus Americans that are like Joe, like everybody here, that's just like, listen, I'm financially responsible, and you know, if I can't vacation, I can't vacation.
I feel like 65%.
So 65% are the earnest, God fearing Americans, or they're the ones who
they're the ones that are vacationing even though they're
that they can't afford it. Okay,
yeah.
so 60. Okay, so 6 out of 4 people. Okay, what about you, Joe?
10%.
Just your personal. So you think 10% of Americans are vacationing and they can't afford it?
Yeah, that's low.
And so 90%. Okay, you can't even listen. Okay,
I'd say
I'm
10.
gonna just leave it alone with
Yeah.
I'd say
I don't
10.
think it's that low.
You can't even talk to this nigga. Like,
I'd
he
say
is going
10.
like he
Yeah,
is just.
I don't think
He's
it's
like
that low, Joe.
I'll say
I
10.
agree with everything
Listen,
that Joe's
You have
been
to
saying.
think of, it's not just your friend group. Like you're obviously
10%
your friend
is crazy.
group.
Hey, he asked me. I gave an honest answer, man. I just gave I gave an honest answer. I wasn't trying to like you rile it up. He asked me. I'd say 10-15%.
Listen, I'll take the answer, but goddamn. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm gonna go along the
15% of people that
10 to 15%.
don't vacation when they can't afford it.
Who vacation, who live above their means and take out like debt, significant debt to go vacation. I'd say 10-15%. I'd say that.
Okay, so what's your number? Because you never gave a number.
Yeah, I never gave a number, but I wouldn't say it was that low. I was just gonna go 50-50 because I was just gonna go 50-50 because I don't know. So
I'm gonna look at these numbers now if I can find something. Because now you got me thinking about
10
this.
is crazy, though. Like
in
people
Joe's
are.
head, everybody got a hard head on, and they in the mines. They're like,
yeah, no.
They like, I ain't taking no break balls.
Joe. Even though I 100% agree with everything he was saying, I agree with you, Joe.
So we're gonna wrap this conversation up, right? Because it went. And thank you for this conversation. But my final point or question, like, do you guys know the number one reason people declare bankruptcy in this country? You guys know what the number one reason is?
I do, but I'll
what is it, Ty?
Healthcare, health reasons.
Medical bills. The number one reason people go into debt, in bankruptcy, or lose their homes, or anything like that, or even become homeless, is because of medical debt.
You know the number 2 reason?
No, what is number 2?
Vacations.
Oh my God! Why did I walk into that shit? Why did I walk into that?
You walked door wide open. You just went.
All right, I'm done. I'm done. I thought you were serious.
Let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time. This is a good one.